All right, let's review another release of PeakD, and I'll show you what's new, and we will focus primarily on this first thing, which you probably have seen is the post, the video. I'm talking a little bit about requiring a default beneficiary on communities. So let's go to community that has this enabled, that we created this for. We are sponsoring photo games, and it's been awesome. It's been going for a few weeks now. It's been working great. Okay, so let's take a look at the layout of photo games here. Okay, so you see it over here in the rules. Because we have set this up this way, there is a 10% required beneficiary to the photo games pool, and actually we are moving that up to even 40%, which means yes, you can change it. So the second thing is posts not using this required beneficiary will be removed, and there's a little discussion about this that needs to be for any community owners. So if you go to actions and go to settings, these are the main normal settings that all communities have. If you're on PeakD, we give you a bunch, and we will make this interface a little bit cleaner in the future. There's things that you can do here: curator, contents, default modes, all that stuff. Right here, required beneficiary. So you can say, you can tell your users that they need to have a beneficiary to this account. So we have for photo games, it's photogames.pool, and then you can put the percentage. Now, telling them there's a required beneficiary is different than actually acting on it. So what are you going to do if they don't have the required beneficiary? Well, the moderators need to decide, I suppose. Because this is not on the back end of community development, and in the future, perhaps Hive developers will put this on the back end, there needs to be an interface, kind of a workaround. Well, the workaround in this case, if you go to roles and titles, is, give it a moment to load. I am on very slow internet. Let's refresh it. All right, here we go. So the workaround is add peakd.bot. Peakd.bot. If you add that as a moderator to your account, then we will look at the required beneficiaries and auto moderate for you. If there's any issues with the auto moderator, let us know. And then, yeah, so what happens when you go to write a post in an account like photo games? If you go, well, let's open up photo games as an option. Then you go to advanced, it will automatically be listed as a beneficiary. So photo games pool will be listed as the beneficiary. So that's another thing that was done in this update. We did it for photo games, and now it's available for any communities. So let's go back to the post and see what else is new. We also support public templates in communities. So that means that the community owner account, the account that starts usually Hive, well, always Hive dash and then 6 numbers, that owner is, if you create a template and put it in there, and then you can mark it as public, they will show up. Let's give it a, let's test it out. So I'm going to go back to the photo games. We're going to go just right here. And if you click on the down arrow, there's now a bunch of templates. So photo games has a lot of templates. Maybe your community just has an introduce yourself template or a template about something or other. If you tell people, hey, write a post about this, maybe make a template for them. Another change that we did is we increased preferred topics to 20. So anything above 9 will show up in the more option. But when you are writing a post, again, and we go to photo games, there's a quicker way to do this. If you're right here and I just hit write a post, photo games will already be there, but they will all be listed down here in preferred topics. Okay, so we're moving right along. The default required beneficiary is obviously a very big thing. People have been asking this on communities, asking for this on communities for a while. So there is a way to say that you require a beneficiary, and then we have created a separate optional bot that will, I guess, sort of police or auto moderate your community for you. Anything that is posted with a lower beneficiary will be auto removed, and no one will even, it just automatically happens. Moderators won't even know it ever existed there, just automatically removed. Now, you have to realize that people use other interfaces other than PeakD, and sometimes people, gasp, do not look at the rules of a community. So if they're using Hiveblog or Leo Finance or Essency, and they do not look at the rules and add their beneficiary themselves, they will be auto-moderated out. So you need to have a discussion perhaps with your community and figure out how that works, or tell them to use PeakD, or encourage Hive.blog, Essency, and all these others to implement this feature. We did it in a very decentralized way, decentralized protocol. It should be pretty easy for them to do, and they don't necessarily have to create the bot. But those sorts of things would be nice for other communities, other interfaces to do. So they can talk to us if they need help and some suggestions. So yes, the ability for this all to work with required beneficiaries on communities does exist. It's out there. If you want to use it, think about a strategy for your community. And then the templates is there. And there's a few other things, actually. When you go in to write a post on PeakD interface, and we're on photo games, this right here should show up, rules. And when they hover over it, it will show the rules of that community. So what's good with the rules, unless you really can show them in a few different places. So you're going to write a post in photo games. By the way, here's the rules, okay? So we put rules there. Another place that we put rules is when you create a collection. So we did separate collection from post because there was a lot of people that didn't understand what a collection really meant. So now we're here. We're going to create a collection, and we put rules because it is a community. Well, when you create a collection, the default place is this community called curated collections, right? And it has its own rules. We put this over here, information about how to create a collection. Okay, so hopefully that helps solve some people's questions about what is a collection. It is a collection of lists of many other posts. There you go. All right, so those are the big things. Let's talk about a couple other things, which is Hard Fork 25 is coming up at the end of this month, and we have a website, testnet.peakd.com, which will work with, it's configured to work with the testnet. Well, I've got it open up over here, and the best way, the easiest way right now is to log in using PeakLock. So you have Keychain, PeakLock, HiveSigner. I don't think that HiveSigner is configured to work with it. All right. So, sorry, I was doing something here on the testnet. We're going to leave that. So one of the things I was saying, I don't know where I cut off last, was we're going to log out. And when we log in, you would have to configure Hive Keychain for it to work. HiveSigner, I do not believe, works for the testnet yet. So if you maybe want to configure Keychain to work, that's great. We own we operate PeakLock, so we got it working yesterday to sign in, right? So If we click here, I've already added. You're going to have to re-add these accounts, whatever account you want to use. So let me type this in. Right now, you can log in to the testnet. There's not much going on yet because Hive Keychain takes some work to get it integrated, and Hive Signer doesn't work. And so we just need more testers. It just got kind of relaunched over the weekend. The testnet did. And PeakD just got working earlier today. So with all that being said, you can go to all topics, trending algorithms not showing anything. You have to go to recent. And in this case, we should see, all right. So we'll see just 8 posts here, which is obviously very many. So there's a few things that we need to get running. You can get in, look at the testnet, see some stuff. We're going to get commenting and posting working. There's a couple errors. Go onto our site or our Discord, or go into the chat and mention if you see any bugs. That's what the testnet is for, reporting bugs. So there you go. That should be up and running. Another thing I wanted to show back on the regular website is if we go to back to photo games, I wanted to show you something here. There was a feature that we did here, image viewer for comments. So we've always had the ability, if you see a post, you can click on that picture and you can view it larger in the post. Now let's go to a post here. So for example, if I click on this, you'll see it larger. Well, all we really did was on comments, now you can see it larger. So that was a small but awesome fix. So there's also, I don't know if you see the top of the page here, but there will be a blue dot if there's a notification indication. So then you'll go, oh, okay, I got a new notification. In the upcoming settings, we will likely allow you to change whether or not that happens, and maybe even change if you get any notifications at all. You're just like, hey, I'll get to them. I don't need to see notifications. It's up to you. So that should be it. We've got a bunch of changes for communities, including the big one, which was default or required beneficiary. A few other improvements there. Testnet support, notification in the browser, image viewer, and then we have a list. I'm going to read through them and give you, if I have any insights into these, I will share them, okay? Better instructions for creating a curated collection. We already went over that one. Double check community required beneficiary before publishing a post. Okay, that's on PeakD. If you're about to write a post, we're going to just double check it to make sure that you've got the right beneficiary in there, right? Improve image hashing function to better handle edge cases. And we just have this cool image system that, I don't have better insights for this one. We're just always improving things here and there as people give feedback, and we're like, okay, we'll fix that. So these are in the release notes. Include power down amount in the max available amount in the delegation pop-up. There you go. It should be, this is an advanced function. So if you don't already understand delegations and the power downs and all that stuff, then I would have to explain all that anyways to begin with. And if you already understand those things, then this makes perfect sense to you. Stop embedded videos from auto-playing. That was something that was happening particularly on 3Speak. So now the user needs to decide for themselves. What happened is that there were, I don't like it particularly when they autoplay, but the big thing was if they had 3 different videos, they would all start to autoplay. So indent subheaders on a post outline. Okay, there's these outlined post outlines right here. So if you have subheaders, then they will indent it. Add a link to edit default beneficiaries and settings. Improve support for curated content collections, associated templates. We just had a few things that I wanted to improve, and they got improved. Allowed up to 20 preferred topics. We already discussed that. Better handle community curator account. So that is something only some communities use a curator account. So we just took their suggestions and improved that. There was looks like 6 different fixes that people had suggested. We did all of those. Um, I don't see anything in here that needs to really be talked about. There was just a ton of small updates, and obviously this one big one. And I think that basically covers. I hope you were able to listen, perhaps even at double speed. Uh, Coming soon is change to search features. We wanted to release all these things right now, get people on the test net, do all the different features, all those little bug fixes. So we did that right now without the search features. We're going to be working on the search features separately, I suppose. Well, as usual, if you guys have bug fixes or suggestions, we'll be adding those as well in the next launch as well. The next update, I should say. All right. So search is coming soon. Also some changes on the interface, including menus. Actually, menus did get an update. We simplified it. We are going to simplify and make these menus up top a little bit better. Obviously, the search is going to get better. And we're likely going to change the tools up here. This menu is going to get an upgrade as well. So plenty of user interface things to make it more intuitive for new users. So yes, older users may go, oh, who moved my settings? Who moved my cheese? Who moved stuff around? We're getting ready for the new users. So it's about the new users, getting them the best possible experience. So sorry in advance if you're used to going to somewhere exact to click on something. We want it to be the best experience possible for the new users who will, tens of thousands of people that will be coming in as they establish the best possible interfaces. So, and I think you really will like the new menus here. These ones are a little bit hard to navigate. They get a little unwieldy as you go on. So, all right, that should cover it. We also have integrated a few new analytics to go into the system. Remember, our analytics system is very, even Brave browser allows it because it is very non-intrusive. It it will, yeah, it loads less data. It's non-intrusive. It should be fine for any country regulations in most all sites, and it now allows us to track Brave because they're cool with the system for now, at least. And that is it. Hope you enjoyed the update.